Hi, I'm Mike Tenney, host of Pop Culture Catechism on Awaken Catholic, and this is Awaken the Word, a reading from the Holy Gospel according to Luke. At that time, there were some present who told Jesus about the Galileans, whose blood Pilate had mingled with their sacrifices. He asked them, "Do you think that because these Galileans suffered in this way, they were worse sinners than all other Galileans? No, I tell you, but unless you repent, you will all perish as they did. Or those 18 who were killed when the Tower of Siloam fell on them, do you think that they were worse offenders than all the others living in Jerusalem? No, I tell you, but unless you repent, you will all perish just as they did." Then he told this parable. A man had a fig tree planted in his vineyard, and he came looking for fruit on it and found none. So he said to the gardener, "See here, for 3 years I have come looking for fruit on this fig tree, and still I find none. Cut it down. Why should it be wasting the soil?" He replied, "Sir, let it alone for 1 more year until I dig around it and put manure on it. If it bears fruit next year, well and good. But if not, you can cut it down." In today's gospel, Jesus is answering one of the age-old questions of the human experience. Why do bad things happen to good people? And why does it seem like good things happen so often to bad people? He's talking about these various catastrophes that have happened nearby in Galilee, and he's saying, do you think this happened because they were sinners, or they were worse sinners than anybody, worse sinners than you? It's like, no. And really, all of us need to repent, or something much worse is going to come, because the judgment is coming for all of us at some point. And he tells this parable about a fig tree who's not bearing fruit, and so it should cause us to look at our lives and say, are we bearing fruit? Are we bearing fruit in our lives? Are we a positive influence on the people around us? Are we leading them to holiness? Is there holiness in my own life? Am I moving forward? Now, this can be challenging and this can be scary, but it should also give us great consolation. At the time of Jesus, it was kind of an open question in Judaism. Does God reward us and punish us for the things we've done in this life or in the next life? And throughout the Old Testament, it's kind of an open question of whether God rewards you in this life or the next life. And Jesus comes down very hard on the side of God will reward us and give us justice to some extent in this life, but really it's in the next life. And you see him arguing with the Sadducees about this at a bunch of times, because the Sadducees don't believe in the resurrection. And people are constantly asking him, Jesus, this guy's blind. He was born blind. Is it because he's a sinner or because his parents are sinners? And Jesus says, no, that's not why. God doesn't punish people like that. He doesn't reward people like that. So let us not look at the world and the things that happen to us with worldly eyes, where we see things and think, oh, God's punishing us. No, God is with us through all the sufferings, and he will reward us in the next life. I have been Mike Tenney, and this has been Awaken the Word.